Croeso and welcome to Tales for Wales, the pod that never fails to bash your bishop.
I knew
that
joke was coming.
I haven't written anything down.
No, and I gave you 5-second warning.
Yeah, literally the countdown already started. I went, am I doing the intro? Yes. Okay. Bash
But
the
it's
bishop
gotta go,
it is.
It's got to go.
Old faithful.
Yeah, bashing the bish. My
it's just
bish
fun to say as well, isn't it?
It is quite fun.
My bishop's been bashed.
Working your gherkin. I used to hear that quite a bit when I was being molested.
Oh, do you know a disgusting one? When you were being molested, very good. We were going to go there as well. Again, Route 1, isn't it? Yeah, the grim one I heard before was from a guy. Feel free to beep him out if you want, or let his name hang out there, named and shamed. David Perry.
Cheriani himself.
He said, and you might want to cut this because it is gross. He said, making the maggots sick.
That is disgusting.
It's absolutely rank, isn't it?
Let's try and make up our own ones. Squirting the sausage.
Squirt. Oh my god. All right, let me think now.
Pulsating the parsnip.
This is an RFK Jr. thing again. We have to go away, do some homework.
Fuck, we've not done the RFK Jr. voice again.
Oh, we haven't either. Oh, dear. ERJ, I'm really sorry, mate. We're going to let your cousin RFK Jr. down again.
We've recorded 2 days back to back. So we said yesterday's episode, which was last week's episode, we're going to go away. Actually, we said this like 4 weeks ago. We're going to go away and remember what RFK sounds like. Actually, because we got this episode's really short, I'll have a quick look for him on YouTube and see if we can find him.
I sort of like have an idea of him. You know, it's more like the thought of him than the actual thing. Like
the caricature of what he's like.
I could describe it, but I don't think I could do a good impression. I think the best you'll ever get out of me was like a couple of weeks ago. The episode that went a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah. Let's Google RFK Jr.
So,
speaking.
Just to confirm, you're going to Google it, we're going to listen to it, and then we're both going to attempt it. Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Fair enough. Advert about marketing. Mark King Properties Officers. All right. Oh, I've got my fucking headphones on. That ain't going to help, is it? What a palaver. All right. Now, the baying crowd.
Today, my 17-year-old niece left for Europe to go to college.
My 17-year-old niece left to go to college. I mean, we are making fun of someone with a speech impediment. The water in the fluoride that really makes you a sicko.
If he wasn't such a piece of shit, I would be thinking we shouldn't do it. But I don't.
Maggot in my brain, and I'm making it sick.
Didn't we say we were going to do?
Did you not just get my Cheriani
version,
joke?
which was it was. Oh yeah, sorry, right over my head. Then sorry. That was a case in point example of someone who's focused so hard on what they're about to say, they're not listening in the conversation. Yeah. I do apologise. But yeah, we did say we'd try and do an RFK Jr. impression of EL. I'm getting your fucking name wrong now.
EIO. Yeah.
I can't remember now.
ERJ. Yeah. Ellis.
And we were going to do it as if he was Drakeford, wasn't it?
Did we? Is that what we said?
That was the bargain, the devil's bargain we made.
For a shit impression.
I ran across Jeffrey Epstein at parties.
Right.
I mean,
do that, but do it about the 20-mile-an-hour roads.
Jeffrey Epstein at parties.
All right, let's try and get another example of him yapping.
Do you accept the fact that 1 million Americans died from COVID? I don't know how many died.
All right, well, we got the gist. I don't know how 20 miles an hour, it doesn't make my maggot throw up in its brain.
Shoehorn that in every time. Also, the maggot throw up in his brain.
What I do is I'm
the only way to safeguard the kids is to lower the speed limit to 20.
What is this podcast? What is this for?
Oh yeah.
Oh god.
Can anyone tell we're desperate to kill some minutes before the content?
My notes are so not for lack of trying. I fucking dug as far as I could dig, but it's about like a one man who doesn't do a huge amount other than be a bastard. So we are trying to scrabble around trying to find some content.
Trying to fill the airwaves with maggot sick.
Yeah. Anyway, enough. Actually, when I do that, I convulse and I shake and I fucking make myself a bit sweaty. Dirty bastard.
Imagine what he feels like, mate.
Yeah. And by the way, it's a week to the day since we had our mega sesh. And I honestly only just about feel like I could manage a pint.
That's pretty hardcore. It's hardcore if you go past the Thursday recovery period.
But that's normally when we have.
Like I told you. Yeah,
by
I told
Thursday,
you
we're
yesterday,
gagging.
didn't I? I was like, it's okay. I want a pint again now.
Yeah,
but
it's not just the recovery.
By even Thursday, if it takes till Friday, that's tough.
By Thursday, we're like, no, I'm not recovered. I'm keen to go again. I'm like, I'm. So say if you go out on Saturday, Sunday you're dead. And actually, Sunday's not the worst hangover part, is it? Sunday you're kind of like the bombs just hit and you can't hear properly. There's dust everywhere, and you're like, oh shit. And then like, Monday,
you've
the
just
reality
been hit with the flashbang, isn't it? You can't really see what's going on. What's the damage?
So you can't see. You don't know. Sort of you're in shock and awe tactic. But then the Monday, you're like, God, they're all dead. And then Tuesday, you're like, fuck, they're still dead.
My home. What's that meme? Goes, you burn my family to the ground.
And then Wednesday, you're like, well, I guess, I didn't like my family that much. And then Thursday, you're like, I'll get a new family and just get smashed again.
Yeah.
So
we've got the world to live for. Life's still going. The world still turns. And then, rinse and repeat on that weekend. Then.
I'm having a weekend completely off booze. And next week I'm having another week off booze. So I'm doing like good 20 days zero booze whatsoever. And then
well, shall I tell you the antithesis that I'm
hit me
living
with
through?
the opposite.
So I said, because of how heavy Friday was, like I was a bit of a wreck on the Sundays,
and if it rocks you, it's a biggie, because I get rocked quite easy by it.
Like I wasn't as bad as you, but I was like, "Oof, this is bad." And I said to him, "I was like, I think I'm not gonna have a drink now till we go on holiday, because we're going on holiday on Tuesday, all inclusive for a week. So I know it's going to be so booze heavy."
So I think you should never tell your missus you're going to do that, because then when you instantly go back on it, they're like, "Well, I thought you weren't going to do this."
I was basically digging my own fucking pitfall, loading it up with spikes from the woodlands, right? Propping the little fucking leaves on top so I can't see it. And then, so then obviously I got to Thursday, I was like, do quite fancy a pint though. And then I was like, what to do. And then I had to go through the whole rigmarole going, I'll have a few beers. I'll have one drink on the weekend. I won't do the usual Friday, Saturday. I was like, I'll just do the Friday. And I thought you said you weren't drinking. I was like, I can change my mind, can't I?
That's the thing about me. I'm not an ignorant bastard. I'm happy to be proven wrong.
It's a sign of stupidity to hold one opinion and never change. So, but the top tip: just don't say anything. Even if you're thinking it, just keep it to yourself.
Well,
if you change your mind, you don't have to tell anyone.
I did the opposite, and I was like, "Babe, can you hold me to this? Because I feel dog shit, and I actively want you to fucking diddy mow me, fucking diddy mow, and just tell me not to." So, but I said to her, the flip side of that is, I want to have a night where I just play Xbox and watch films and stuff. And she you
still want your fun.
I still want to. I don't want to, because she was like, all right, on Sunday, what we can do, we'll go head to Cheltenham to watch my brother.
Whoa. Pump the brakes a minute.
Well, listen to how hard I had to pump these brakes. It was like, all right, well, do you want to go this Sunday? We'll go watch my brother run a half marathon and then go out for a family meal and stuff. And I was like, hang on, love. I'm in recovery. You can't expect me to do all this right now.
I've stopped drinking. I've been lobotomized, sweetheart. All right.
No, I was more like, you've got to look after me. I've had a tough old time of it. So we've parlayed and come to an agreement that we will go watch the run, but we won't go forever. Also, I'm only joking. I do love seeing a family, but we have to leave here at 7:30, and I was planning on seeing my family and cooking a roast dinner. And you know me, I fucking love cooking a roast dinner. So I was like, right, we'll go, but I still get to cook as a roasty, and it's gonna be the first roasty of winter. So, and even doing that,
so you've come to an accord.
Yeah, and I do. I love seeing her brother, and they got a little baby who is so cute. So I do like it, but I was just a bit hang on, just because I'm not having any alcohol this weekend doesn't mean I I've changed
Yeah.
the
I
fundamentals of who
haven't
I
given
am.
up my autonomy, you think?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not fucking Hong Kong being just taken over by the Chinese regime.
So knee-jerk on it. I think I'm going to go off the booze for a bit. Oh, well, why don't we do something? I'm not your fucking puppet, okay?
Yeah. So, but there is something about having like a whole weekend where you don't drink. How long it lasts? I think we've said this before. When you're not having a, when you're not
we're so
seeing your
used to
mates,
the fast-paced, liquor-laced fucking lifestyle.
yeah, and then you're like, shit. Last week, like, because normally Sunday's gone because it's hungover. Saturday's gone because you're out all day with your friends. So like you only really have like Friday night when you feel like you're off work. So when you actually have a boozy free one,
but it's
last
kind of like
boring
a
as
double-edged
anything.
sword, though.
Yeah.
Exactly, boring as fuck. Because I remember when back in the days when we would all do, all us boys would do Dry January together.
Yeah.
And God, it was everything we could do to just try and think of something to do.
I know.
It didn't involve going for a pint.
If someone mentioned Pen of Van one more time, I'd fucking cave their
I
skull.
think we did it twice in that month.
Yeah.
And it was like, the thing is, it was
now
our school
it's
paintballing.
We went paintballing, didn't we?
I think it was Gez's birthday. We went paintballing, and it was quite good fun. But I was like, God, I want a pint now after this. This is
God, I want
paintballing
a
without a pint. Yeah,
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, I remember, but that is the
Ridiculous.
month we all lose about a stone, get in really good shape, and we're like, right, that's our
It's
one
a
month
glimpse
of the year.
of how healthy our lives could be, isn't it? It's like, this is what you could have had.
That's the other thing.
if
When you do
were
stop drinking,
addicted.
because if you do like ease up on the booze and you're a big boozer, it's so easy to lose weight because that's like you're
drops
down,
off you.
You're dropping like 6,000 calories for doing nothing different or just not having booze. So it's like, yeah, that is one kind of perk. Do we talk too much about the importance of booze? At least we're self-aware, I guess.
I think our audience knows what they're in for by now.
Yeah.
Surely
true.
to God.
Let's push the Patreon and, more importantly, push sharing it with your mates because I think we really want to like grow this channel, whatever we'd call it, this like pod, and we'd really appreciate like if you just, even if it's embarrassing to say, oh, I heard this, it's a podcast, but if you just share it with one mate, it would be, that'd be, we'd be close to meeting
and
Kevin
if that
Bacon
mate shares it with another mate, and then exactly,
and then we're the Prince of
Think
England.
how fast we could grow.
Exactly. So just do it, right? Just stop going on and say, no, I don't want to. And if you don't do that, do drop a 5-star. Can you do that for us, please? You're halfway through the episode.
If you're still here and you've listened to the absolute nonsense of the first 12 minutes of this, the least you can do, click that little 5-star. Done.
Yeah, done. All right. Well, should we... actually, do you have anything? Because I did ask you to prep some preloaded
I have
banter.
got 3 things. Okay, you can take your pick.
All right.
One, you already know you've had the tip of the iceberg on this one already because I couldn't not tell you boys on the group chat. So one is man hits alarm on train. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Next one, pregnant cat videos, and then the third one I thought because I'm off to Zante. If I could send it up in Zante, all inclusive next week, I thought we could talk about Kavos callbacks. So up to you, which one of those would you like?
Train. Like train quite a bit.
The train.
Yeah.
Yes. So I was I was working away the other week. I was going up to, I can't even remember now, somewhere near Swansea. Anyway, I was on the train. So this is the commuter train for the morning work lot. Some guy, it was a fairly dead carriage because I was going to like Narberth or somewhere up that way. And this guy, I don't know if anyone is familiar with Welsh trains, but right next to the door, there's the alarm, right? Smash that if you got a fucking problem. Yeah. This guy came on with his bike.
Yeah.
And I don't know if his bike hit it or something hit it, right? This alarm
so
started going off.
And
I was looking around because I was like, what is that noise? I've never heard that before. And there's this alarm, and then eventually it was like, this is the train driver. What is the problem? Like going to a little tannoy thing on there. And this guy went, I'm sorry, I hit my bag. I think I hit my bag. I'm sorry. He was like, very good. And then he just like stopped doing it. Alarm stopped. But because I'd looked over, I was like sort of pivoted my head over the back of my chair to see what the commotion was. This cyclist was there, panicking. Oh, what has he done?
Yeah,
and he had his phone at such an angle. He was holding his phone down. I could see he was on his screen. Yeah. And it was just 2 guys fucking railing each other. Like very hardcore gay porn.
Really?
Yeah, it was the first thing I saw was a fucking bumhole being spat on, and then it was just 2 guys, one guy going absolute town on the other. And I was like,
He was
Fucking
so
hell, mate.
horny that he had to stop the
9
train
in
to
the
get that
morning,
wank
this is.
off.
Like,
He's right.
Listen, I know trains can be a bit dull,
Yeah.
but fucking. I mean, also, you stood there with his bike with what? Just watching that with a lob on. Was it his
That's
lob
so
on? Then the
funny.
fucking alarm tripped the bloody system. I don't know, but it was
Wow.
so weird. And I thought, and then he's poor bugger. He's my bike, my gay porn on my phone. The alarm's going off, drawing attention to me watching my explicit material.
That's mental.
But I just thought, you
Did
don't
he-
just
did-
watch porn on the train.
Yeah, I know that's the other thing. People who like just watch porn, like as in
That's
like
like,
watching a podcast.
Gooner shit, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like
Well,
fucking,
the one thing I saw
addicted.
was one guy who was just watching some amateur BJJ, as in like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And I thought that was more embarrassing. He was sat on the train with it quite loud. More embarrassing being caught
should
watching
be fucking
porn.
ashamed of yourself.
Yeah. It was just like two guys grappling, and I was like, I was like, is this gay porn? And then I was like, oh no, it's not. It's just some
I
two
love you
guys
say that'd be
cuddling.
more acceptable if those two boys were gay.
Yeah, I'd
and
be
had
like, if at least if
bonus,
they were
yeah.
bumming each other, there's something in it for him. But that is
Oh.
crackers.
But
I'm gonna
yeah,
say it,
I
crackers
couldn't believe it.
majackers. That's so
It
funny.
is. It's not even like I know it wouldn't be acceptable on the commute home either, but maybe that's makes more sense. In
I
like
the
you're
idea
winding
that
down,
it would
hard
be
day
acceptable.
work.
You go, oh, fair enough,
Like,
mate.
hey, he's had a hard day. Let him watch his explicit material.
Well, did he
but
look
on the
like a
way
bit
there,
of a
like,
perv?
No, he just looked like your bog standard cyclist. So you might say,
pervert
yes,
then.
really.
Yeah.
Yeah, bands. But he just looked like a normie. Because then afterwards, when we got off at the same stop, and I was looking at him, and I was like, how unassuming. He doesn't look like the gay porn watching type on the train. But you never know, do you? Just goes to show.
Have you ever been caught with watching porn?
Watching porn? No, I can't say I
No.
have. Definitely not on the train.
Not on the yeah, but that's generally illegal.
That just says I've never been caught. I didn't say I haven't done it.
Yeah, because watching. Have you ever watched porn in public? I don't think I've
No,
ever watched porn
God,
in
no.
public. God, no.
Why would you?
I get worried if someone sends me something on WhatsApp and I'm like, oh shit, should I, like, if someone sends you like a clip
if I'm on the train and
I'm always like, oh fuck,
you
it's
know,
either
you
gonna
should
be
get like the
yeah,
the preview message, don't you? And you
Yeah.
think, right, that's going to be.
But I don't.
filth,
On
so
mine,
I'll leave
I
that.
don't download anything anyone sends me because I just can't be asked to with it on my phone. So I have to click it. So if you don't, it's blurred out. So sometimes you'll click it and it will be some like horrendous video. Like our mate Andy might have sent us like fucking someone getting beheaded or something. Actually, he
Yeah.
doesn't do that, but his friends do that. His friends send him.
Who was it who sent us that one time? Was it Clue?
Probably
who
was
sent
Andy.
that video of two guys getting like fisted, and it was really graphic and like
It
was,
would have
like,
been Andy.
very
He
extreme.
always sends us the most.
Maybe it
fucking
was
mad
Andy,
stuff. I think he once sent me a man with like a snake up his ass, and I was like, "This is like animal abuse." Yeah. So imagine it's not Andy. That's just fucking
So
absolutely.
we've learned long ago: do not open these things in public.
Yeah. So, yeah. All right.
Maybe this guy was innocent. Maybe someone, his mate, went, "Hey, open this," and it's just feature length, like homosexual porn. And he went, "Oh, it's on my thing now. I might as well watch it."
Oh no! I've just broken the train because I got so horny. I didn't realise that I'm actually into this.
Like
now.
I said, his
Maybe
boner
it's-
hit the fucking.
Maybe
alarm.
he has like the most niche kink, which is dressing up as a cyclist, even though he's not a cyclist, and then wearing the gear, watching porn, stopping a train, and getting spotted by a commuter, and that's what he
but
gets
only
really
on
into.
a transport for Wales as well.
Yeah, and he's
Fucking,
from like Cumbria, so he's not even Welsh. It's just
that would
really
explain
into it.
why he didn't have a proper handle on his bike, because he's not used to it. It's just a kink. It's not his actual pastime, which is why the fucking handle must have smashed the alarm in.
But also,
all
he's
making
going on a
sense.
cycle. Why do you want to get horny before you go on a cycle? There are so
God
many
knows.
questions to this. We should
So many
pivot the
questions, so many
podcast and
answers.
just focus on finding this man.
Yeah, in the
What
lore
can
of the
we-
podcast,
yeah.
where people are like, "Oh, they used to do Welsh history for a while," and then it became just
Now
episode
they're
after
ju-
episode about
What
this
can we
guy
call
on a
it?
train.
Geraint Thomas, Geraint Bummus. I'm trying to think of like a
Geraint and Bummers. Yeah, why not?
Trying to think of a new title for
Think
the
you've nailed
podcast. Yeah. All right.
Another bit of homework for us.
I think that's enough bump. We can now get down to brass tacks.
Nice.
Um,
Go on then. Yeah.
Well, from one man wanting to bash his bishop to another bishop I'd like to bash. This is the story.
That's probably one of the better ones you've ever
That
done.
probably is the best one I've ever done. And this is the last ever episode. We've hit it. Right, so this episode's around Rowland Lee. So I'm going to talk a little bit about his background before I get into what his role was as a bishop. But Rowland Lee was born around 1487, most likely in a border region of England and Wales, so like Shropshire, close to Oswestry. It's significant. This is the reason why this is kind of brought up, is because he's a product of the Marshall country where English and Welsh cultures mixed, and often a lot of disorder was common in the eyes of the establishment, because the Welsh and the English still had there was only 80 years before this was the...
There was always trouble within the Marshall ones,
And like within this generation, people would have seen Owain Glyndwr's revolt and, the burning of lots of these towns.
Still fresh.
Still very fresh, yeah. So he was educated at Cambridge, though, at Jesus College, apt because he's a fucking Crusoe. And he might have also been educated at Oxford. Who gives a fuck? What you're getting is he's a very educated fucking nonce. And also it brought him into contact with a lot of powerful patrons, especially someone called...
educated fucking nonce, yes.
Most notably, he got into contact with someone called Cardinal Thomas Wolsey, who was Henry VIII's chief minister during the 1510s and 1520s. So under... sorry, my dog's just trying to get out. Bo, in your bed. So once this cardinal had offered his patronage to Rowland Lee, Lee rose up in the ranks of the church and royal service, and he had a lot of minor positions in the ecclesiastical hierarchy. You can figure out how I say that. Ecclesiastical ecclesiastical hierarchy. But Walsall fell out of favour in 1529. So Lee attached himself to Thomas Cromwell, who was becoming the king's right-hand man. And Cromwell valued... This isn't the same as Oliver Cromwell, just in case you get confused, but Cromwell valued Lee for his bluntness and toughness, qualities that would later define his reputation. So this guy, Lee, born in a tough part of England and Wales, in the Marshall Lands, very well educated in terms of religion, brutal and tough, and quite... opportunistic and career driven.
Lots of things you want in a good Christian, isn't it? Brutal, tough, ambitious.
In 1534, Rowland Lee was consecrated as Bishop of Coventry and Lichfield or Lichfield. His appointment came at a critical moment in Henry VIII's reign. During the early phases of the English Reformation and the king's break from Rome, Lee, loyal to the crown and Cromwell, became a trusted agent for enforcing the king's will. So in 1534, the same year, but later on, he was appointed Lord President of the Council of the Marshes of Wales. The council's purpose was to govern Wales and the border counties, a region the Tudor government saw as disorderly, violent, and insufficiently under royal control. So this here was like where the crown was still struggling to control the Welsh, even after 600 years of 1066 to 1500, so 500 years of the Normans and the English becoming invaders to Wales. That's not true. They invaded before that, but you know what I'm saying. Blah blah blah. This Plantagenet region. Sorry, where was I? Lee was given this really clear task to bring law and order to Wales and assert the authority of the crown. And like we've said, it's been an impossible task. After the Normans invaded and conquered England in 1066, up until this period, there'd always been resistance in certain forms. Bigger forms, obviously, for 200 years when it was the Welsh princes, and then when there was revolts past after Wales had been annexed, there were still hundreds of years of revolts and revolutions, and then just common disorder from Welsh citizens being pissed off at being second-class citizens and just being a more unruly nation in parts. He gained he was like, right, I'm going to fix this once and for all, and I'm going to bring in tough law and order. So he gained this fearsome reputation for severity and cruelty, and he ended up being called the Hanging Bishop. He's claimed to have executed 5,000 Welsh people during his presidency.
Jesus.
And although there's debates around how much this is, it really reflects the notoriety of his methods. He was known for constantly interfering with jury selection to secure convictions. So he'd target families and what they call clans, although I've not heard that used for Welsh people before. But when I was reading the book, it said clans. So I'm going to use that, but with a pinch of salt, because that does seem a bit more like Gaelic and Scottish. But any families who had previous links to Old Welsh dynasties and dynastic roots, or upstarts, or those who were like who would put the noses of the English out of joint, he targeted them, targeted their families, so not just Welsh men, and then would select the jury and then get them hanged. So they weren't given a free trial, and literally killing off generations of families and stopping any sort of revolt through the eyes of religion.
Your model Christian.
Exactly, yeah.
Like the teachings of Jesus.
Yeah. He was described as a great despiser of Welshmen, reinforcing the idea that he governed through contempt and fear rather than reform and cooperation. So it's not 100% sure why. It wasn't sure if he'd had some bad experiences, or he was just so pro-English it made him anti-Welsh, but he despised them. Lee's harsh rule would be understood within the framework of Henry VIII's centralising policies. So Wales in the early 16th century was still partly governed by the martial lords, like powerful nobles with semi-independent authority over the borderlands, but the Crown saw this as outdated and disorderly. So he brought in the Acts of the Union, which some people say is one of the most damaging things to ever happen.
One of the worst things to happen, yeah.
Passed in 1536 and 1543, it integrated Wales into English legal system, abolished martial lordship, and divided Wales into counties. And then it extended the Court of Great Sessions, which then took over Welsh courts and stopped being able to have courts in Welsh, and completely abolished Welsh language from legal speak, and kind of was the final nail in the coffin of taking Welsh independence into English authority. Rowland's presidency provided the muscle to underpin these reforms, so his brutal enforcement of order demonstrated that Wales could not be left to govern itself or to be governed by the martial lords, so it needed a firm royal control. And then when he died in 1543 and was buried at Shrewsbury Abbey, close to the borderlands where he exercised his power. And he lived long enough to die of, quite peacefully and quite well, which is a real shame. It'd been nice to get fucking done. But yeah, his legacy, remains a controversial figure to the Crown and to reformers. He was a hugely successful enforcer who pacified a troublesome region, in quotations, and cleared the way for legal and administrative reform. To the Welsh, he was a symbol of English oppression and pure brutality, and remembered for his cruelty and disdain. And then this, 5,000 hangings is not it's not something you take quite lightly. And if you think of the population sizes, how much that would be, and even if it wasn't exactly 5,000, a bishop who's just going around hanging you without having a fair trial is just fucking something from a horror story.
Insane, yeah. What a bastard.
Yeah. That is a very. There's not much more to say other than what a cunt, but
Well, yeah, exactly. To sum up,
what an arsehole. Yeah, so another guy I'd never heard of.
Baddies, haven't we, recently?
Yeah, the Brador, the traitor. Yesterday's one, the one we recorded last week, actually, when you're listening to it, was a nice bishop or a nice saint. This guy,
a nice boy,
isn't a nice saint. The bastard bishop. I never heard of him, bishop. And I think it's
no, not me.
It's these kind of figures are still really important into understanding the relationship between Wales and England and Wales and authority. So I find it quite interesting. But yeah, not a huge amount to find other than what he did.
It's always funny to me when it's like they go, oh, the Welsh, they're just not, they're so unruly, they're still rebelling and stuff. What should we do? It's like, squeeze them harder? Yeah, squeeze them harder.
Yeah, well, I'm doing the Glyndŵr research at the moment now, and by the height of Glyndŵr's power to stop him getting extra rebels joining his cause, the Crown I'll tell you what, then we'll just make sure anyone who's not a part of the rebellion has the worst experience possible. We'll take their land. You can't have a job. You're not allowed to carry a sword. We'll just we'll take even if an English man marries a Welsh woman, and that English man's not allowed to have any land, and it's like, oh yeah, okay, I wonder why they all joined
that's good
rebellion.
Everyone go, what, I'm not going to join this Glyndŵr. I'm much happier with my English overlords.
It's like that clip where that that guy is being interviewed in America at like a Trump rally, and it's about like gun control. And the guy interviewing is from the channel The Good Liars, who are really funny if you've not heard them before. They have a great podcast as well. He interviews him, so do you think the answer for gun control is more guns? And the guy goes, well, you can't fight fire with water. And he goes, you can't fight fire with water? And the guy goes, he goes, you literally fight fire with water. And he goes,
That's what we do.
Depends on the fire. It's like, yeah. So your analogy's just fallen out of his ass. But it's so funny. When he says, he's like, you can't fight fire with water. And he just looks at the camera like he said the smartest thing ever. He's like, you gotta fight fire with fire.
Yeah. Oh, he's so clever. What a mug.
So that was like the
Muggins
English attitude to it. Can't fight fire with water in Wales. Well, we've hit 30 minutes, so goodbye.
That's all we need. So we're done in the can. Cheers, guys.
Diolch yn fawr, gwrando. Catch you all soon. Ta-da.
Ta-da.